Hey, it's Chime Time, and on this episode of Chime Time, I want to familiarize the channel with talking about a bit heavier subjects, not just partying and fun and stuff like that, but like we're in the midst of a great American shutdown, and like, oh, maybe I could get spiritual or psychological or heart-to-heart worthy, whatever, but we're going to be discussing a gift I got from my aunt, like a late birthday Christmas gift maybe, before she passed away. And it was a really interesting situation because I had seen her the weekend, or the week before, less than a week before she died. No, let me think about it. It was like I saw her a week before she died, right? And then I didn't see her until that point. But she had a key to my place, and you know, this gift bag showed up, and I figured it was from her because you know, my mom has a key to my place, my aunt has a key to my place, and so I figured it was from my aunt. You know, she never gave me a gift. I think she told me about it, and this is probably it. So I'm gonna unbag this gift on camera today. It's been over a year since she passed away. It's really traumatic because, like, I guess the police found on her body. She fell down and hit her head, just tragically. You know, out of nowhere, people can just die. And the police came to my house. They must have found like my contact info in her phone. She had an old phone. It wasn't like it was locked. It wasn't even a smartphone, I don't think. And you know, because older people have non-smartphones. That happens. She lived a long life, what I would consider to be a long life. Anyway, she's my mom's older sister. She's the oldest of like 5. And she just tragically hit her head and died. So the cops came to my house at like, I don't know, 2 a.m. And they wanted me to go to the hospital to ID the body. So it was really traumatic. I had friends that took me in the following day. You know, I left the city just so I can get myself out of that headspace, be around people, because being around people is really healthy. Or being in a constant state of action so you don't get like stuck alone in your thoughts. Because that's the worst. That's the worst. Because sometimes you could create more problems because you're not as familiar with being in such traumatic situations. And you know, I've had a lot of trauma in my life. My father died when I was 7. I've had other tragedies happen sporadically throughout my life. I'm 30 years of age right now. So I kind of knew what I wanted, and friends offered, and I was like, yeah, that's what I want. That is so awesome. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna open this up. Start with the card always. It says Jonathan on it, so at least I know this is for me. It's happy birthday. My birthday is in December. I think she died in April, probably, early May. So, dear Jonathan, wishing you all the best on your birthday and always love, Ida. And that's handwritten. You know, the other side we'll skip through just because, for the sake of videos being short. I mean, I'll read it anyway. Dear Jonathan, joy is the feeling that brings a glad smile that comes with such warmth and lingers a while. So here's a wish for much joy to you, to fill up your birthday and all your life too. Have a wonderful birthday. You know, it's, you know, I live in a small part of Brooklyn, I guess, or where there must be like one card store. Because there's one time where I had 3 of my aunts, and they all bought the same card because it had a car on it, and I love cars. Go figure. So just good memories in general with my beloved aunt. So this might seem weird or out of character. I don't know, maybe it's a Brooklyn thing, maybe it's a Puerto Rican thing. I don't know, but this is how my family rolls when it comes to buying gifts. They bought a few little things and packaged them up in a bag, you know. So we got right guard, which in the United States and maybe abroad, I don't know how, maybe you have a similar product that's marketed underneath a different title, but this is a hair and body wash combined. I'm not even familiar with it. And I think Right Guard also makes deodorants. Smells awful like a nice cologne, actually. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll do another video on Lush, but I usually save these for my guests, especially male guests, so that they don't have to deal with my girly bath soaps. Oh, and then we have Le Home Premier, which is, this is a Vaporisture natural spray. So I'm assuming it's a cologne. You know, oh, this is probably loud on the mic. But I think that gifts like this, I mean, not that my aunt was telling me to clean up my act or shower or smell nice. It is a cologne. Ooh, it's a very nice cologne. Currently, I don't own cologne. So this gift is actually going to go a long way. And yeah, so my aunt, I don't think she was telling me to clean up, but I think that I had been single for a while, and I think she was trying to encourage me to start dating again, because I had stopped dating for like about a year because I had a much needed breakup. A much needed breakup, not a bad breakup, a terrific breakup that really helped me a lot, you know. Not a lot of people can say they had a terrific breakup. I had a really bad ex that I just needed to leave, and it is my favorite and best breakup ever. It really is the best. It's actually a long and cool story, but I'll make a video about it one day. Maybe. So let's give this a smell. It smells awful like a perfume. Ooh, cold. I hope it's not a perfume. But you know what? I found that girls like girly flavors or scents. So it's a cool trick. I used to use that trick in college when attracting women. I put something a little bit girly, and the girls would be like, "Oh, that smells really nice," and then they'd give me hugs and stuff. I was a little bit of a friendly guy back then. Yeah, so I keep my hair nice so I keep being friendly. It's really nice. So anyway, we'll put this back. So yeah, I think my Aunt Ida was trying to get me back in the dating game because, you know, like sometimes in different cultures, or most cultures, you just don't want people to be alone, you know. And actually, Ida was like one of the strongest and most independent women because she never married. I was told she was in a really serious relationship at one point, and then I think she stayed single for such a long time that she grew really comfortable with herself, and she used to just go out, which I do. I go out alone. I take myself on self dates, and maybe that's normal for a man, maybe it's not normal for a woman, but because everyone in my family seemed very impressed with her, and how she spent her time and how she decorated her place in a unique way. And she always dressed up nice, you know. She just, you know, that she didn't need no man, and she really didn't. She was never looking for guys. She was confident. She had her own space. She knew how to be social. She was the most social person in the entire family. She talked to everybody. She was always on the phone, long conversations, and then her phone would be ringing off the hook because she was really popular too. And she wouldn't always want to pick up the phone. She'd be like, "Oh man, this person again," you know. Oh my God, she's so funny. The last year that I spent that she was alive, I spent more time with her than I ever had, because I had moved from New Jersey to New York City, or back to New York City, as I like to say, from when I was younger. I was living in New Jersey for many years because I went to school there. I grew up a lot in the school year in New Jersey, and then I spent my summers in New York. Really, that's how it really works. But there was a long time where I didn't spend my summers in New York because I became a grown-up. Like, I went to college, I was working. So I hadn't spent as much time with her as I did in my childhood. And then my last year living here in New York, we spent a ton of time together. And it was great. And she actually seems happier than ever, because like, it was just new and fun experience. You know, when you make it like kind of like a new friend. And I was like an adult, so like we were able to have beers and stuff, as a, you know, and just talk and go for walks. You know, have like conversations that you wouldn't have, like usually with a kid. You're like, "Oh, how are you doing in school?" You know, now I'm just like, "Hey, you know, I went to this neighborhood. You know, I bought this water toothpick or something like that. You know, like I'm trying new things." So adult conversations. And last gift here is, oh, there's a price tag on here. It's a size small sweaters, but sweaters usually run large. I'm gonna put one on. Hopefully it's not too dusty, because it's been sitting for a whole year because I was so sad. Too sad to open it. Now is a really good time to open it. Yeah, so it's definitely comfy. Is it my style? Sure. You know, would I wear it to a family gathering? Maybe. Will I tell people if it is? Maybe if who it's from? Maybe if they ask. Or where'd you get that? You know, like that kind of question. But why did I not open this gift for a year? I was in mourning. Is a large part of it. That's why I didn't immediately open it. I swear that I left it in the same place that it sat, which I, you know, for a few weeks, which I don't recommend, because sometimes if there's something around you that makes you sad, it's better to move it around to give yourself some headspace in order to digest everything else that's going on. Like, having constant reminders around you is like, it puts your brain back into a hurt state, and you kind of want to stabilize out. So it's actually good to abstain from, say, some of the small things. I think the big things you should tackle right away, because the bigger they are, the more important they are. That's why I'm saying they're big. But the small things you should avoid. And then if you do have a small thing that is, or just a small memory pops in your head, like a reminder or something, I would encourage you to do something small and positive. Like, whenever you said, like, I have a bottle of water, right? Water's good for you, right? It's not bad for you. Maybe unclean water is bad for you, but assuming this water's clean, it's good for you. You need to hydrate all the time. And when you have a negative thought in your head, do something good for yourself, you know, even if it's as small as having a sip of water. You know, the more senses you can arouse, the more stimulated your brain is, so that it's not like gravitating towards negativity. So even if it's having a cup of tea, you know, now you're getting smell, feel, and nutrition. I guess if that's another sense, one of the 5 or 10 senses, and or essential oils, you know, or you put that on, you know, something that's not as strong as, let's say, a cologne or perfume, you know, something that's nice and light, you know, something that only you could smell, so you're not driving the people around you crazy. Actually, I can still smell the cologne. That's the wrist I used. And those small positive things will just add up and accumulate and help ease the burden of constant reminders of reasons to be sad. So again, chime time. This is chime time. It's a bit of a sadder episode, but I think it's still wholesome and heartwarming, and that's the way I want to keep it. But it's a slight introduction to talking about like mourning and troubled thoughts, and just building positivity, because that's what I'm about. Live to love. Chime time.